Happy Havoc, and I'm in the first trial of the game. There are many more to come, most likely, because there's like 6 chapters to this game. There's no way they're only gonna have 1 chapter. Okay, so we played the cloud of suspicion surrounding him. Even if a deadly body lays in his bathroom, his dirty bathroom. And what about the blackened? Who's actually responsible for Sayaka's death? Who really cares, really? Like, she was like here for like 1 chapter. Like, I don't think many people got emotional attachment unless they have to hang out with her more than once.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
Okay, I kind of got that from the count that we are just jury and interrogator.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one,
then all your ass is dead.
Then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
Okay.
And the killer really is one of us, right?
Of course.
It's not just grabbing me. That made the game too boring.
Okay then. Everyone, close your eyes. And whoever did it, raise your hand.
I don't think it's gonna want that cookie.
Don't be a goddamn idiot. Why the hell would they raise their hand?
I'm raising my hand. I did it. I definitely did it. I want to take credit for this.
Before we move on and start the trial, can I ask a question real quick?
Okay, why don't you take it again?
What's going on with those pictures?
I'd feel awful if they got left out just because they died. Friendship penetrates even death's barrier.
I only like June okay.
Friendship penetrates?
Michael, you're setting him up for his bad.
Okay, but what about that other empty seat?
Whatever. I didn't spot another empty seat when they did the flipping...
There were only 15 of us to begin with, so why are there 16 seats?
I'm wondering.
Oh, no reason. It's just that our little courtroom here can technically fit up to 16 people.
There's not a secret 16th person just randomly hidden around. It's not like there's a mastermind that 16th person.
Okay, that about does it for the preamble. Get ready to get started. First up is the case summary. Now, let the class trial begin.
Okay, let's start this. It's about to begin. The debate to decide who we think the killer is. Anything I found, anything I noticed, I have to be ready to speak up about everything. Because this isn't just about me. Everyone's lives are on the rise, including my sweet-ass life. Your first non-stop debate is about to begin. Would you like to hear more? Yes, absolutely. Yes, definitely, absolutely. I would love to hear more about this. As things progress during each class trial, you will engage in a number of non-stop debates. During these discussions, characters will speak on one after another without pause. It's up to you to unearth any lies or contradictions buried within their statements. What this means is that you'll have to use your truth bullets to refute that what they say. Wait, truth? Okay. Any relevant truth bullets you found during your investigation will be loaded into the truth cylinder. So really, you get to shoot people with a with a mind gun until you got it right. Hooray! Use the left stick to aim the fire, and then fire with triangle. That's the weirdest button to fire. Okay. Pay close attention to each character's statement and use your truth bullets to blast the right ones. Know that if you run out of time, you will automatically fail, so please be careful. If you press the options button during these arguments, you can review the controls. Well then, good luck and have fun, and don't let Monica put execute you. Let's go. Make your argument evident further. Okay, so again, like that's very easy.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono!
Yeah, we know that part already. And the murder took place in Makoto's room.
In the bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
No, it's wrong.
Time to go. That's what's in the Japanese version all the time. Time to go.
Just a second, Chihiro. Try to remember how my room looked.
I never went into your room. I didn't like it there. It smelled like feet.
With the way things had been damaged, I think we can definitely assume there was a struggle.
A struggle? Between who and who?
The killer and the flipping victim. Who do you think?
Between Sayaka and the killer, of course.
I think even Ricardo thinks it's kind of stupid to ask that question.
So you're saying Sayaka wasn't caught by surprise in the bathroom?
No, of course, he just opened the door to him. Literally, I still think Sayaka was blinding him.
She must have been attacked in the main room first. Then, she ran to the bathroom to try and hide.
Okay, she grabbed that flipping sweet ass sword and started fighting like a flipping ninja.
The killer followed her in, and that's where they finished the job.
That much should have been obvious after taking one look at the scene. It shouldn't even need explaining.
Sorry.
Okay, so what's next?
Next is the subject of the murder weapon.
That knife that was obviously missing from the kitchen.
Wow, this is starting to sound like a real trial.
It is a real flipping trial. We need to determine what was used to kill Sayaka. It couldn't be that kitchen knife in her stomach. No, it has to be something else. It can't be that kitchen knife. Is it the kitchen knife? Ah, kitchen knife.
So it was used to kill her.
Okay.
There was some kind of sharp object
That's why I
thrust
don't
into her
act
stomach.
just like you two.
Without a doubt, that is the murder weapon.
So the killer used some random knife they had on him. How could anyone do something like that? That son of a bitch!
Because the object that was first provided, it was only certainly the knife that disappeared to a certain location. Literally, I know.
So what was used to kill her?
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach. Without a doubt, that is the murder weapon.
So the killer used some random knife they had on him.
No, it's wrong.
That's the guy. I'm saying, that's the guy. Every time.
No.
Okay.
I do think it was a knife, but not just any knife. I'm almost positive it was a kitchen knife.
I know this because I murdered her. Yes, I admit it. Send me to my punishment, Monokuma.
Huh? A kitchen knife?
How would you know that? Oh, because you murdered her.
After the murder, we discovered that one of the knives from the kitchen was missing.
Yeah, because you took it.
Which means that knife must be the murder weapon.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense. You could sort of see the weapon sticking out of her stomach.
Like they noticed some kind of obvious stuff.
And if you look real close, I could totally see that being a kitchen knife.
Okay, then why would you...
Okay, so the murder weapon was a kitchen knife, but where does that get us? I mean, we all know Makoto killed her, right?
I don't trust you, Leon. You're the first one to bring that up this whole time.
Right. Makoto's room was the scene of the crime. What more proof do you need?
Why is it that I broke my own fucking door handle, you stupid idiot? If I knew that
Hold on a second. I'm
innocent, I tell you. I did not stab her in the stomach several times and then tell my owners and you... But because it was all in the one place, it only showed the one sample.
Let's draw our conclusions after we've presented our arguments. Otherwise, what's the point of the trial?
Well, we can talk all we want. It's not going to change that conclusion.
I don't think that's true at all. I'm sure if we keep at it, something new will reveal itself.
You really believe that?
She's right, there's gotta be a breakthrough somewhere. Just wait for us to find it. Because I know damn well I'm not the killer. Or am I? Ah, damn, I'm questioning my own killability. There's a bit more to learn about non-stop debates. Would you like to hear it? Yeah. Cause I'll forget otherwise. You can concentrate by holding down to... Yeah, I kind of figured that out. While you're concentrating, time will slow down so you can pay close attention to what everyone's saying. On top of that, it'll steady your aim, make it easier to target potential weak spots. Congratulations! Concentrating consumes the focus gauge, and if this gauge empties, you can't concentrate. But the focus gauge will recover over time, so let your brain take a rest. Now, no need to rush. Well, then good luck and have fun, and if I have anything else to tell you, I'll tell you when you least expect. What is it? Tell me that white noise is good in the way. I was the count.
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon.
Yeah, I'm thinking that.
But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, right? He did it in secret. Nobody was
No, that's wrong.
Let's go.
Okay, wait. Hold on. I didn't take the knife from the kitchen.
Yeah. I can get a fingerprint set. We'll find out who it was immediately. Now, they have like, Monica, why do you not have a think? Why is it you know who killed him? And you have a full analysis of what the killing blow was, but you don't have a fingerprint detection. Because that would make the game too easy. Okay, fine.
Next, you're gonna say you're not the killer, right? Go ahead and say it all you want.
Well, what if I have a witness? What do you think, Tina?
Huh?
Remember what you were telling me earlier?
How you saw someone take the fucking knife? That wasn't me. Well, I went to go get some tea from the kitchen last night, and all the knives were still there. But when I finished my tea and went back into the kitchen to wash my glass, well, the knife was gone. And I saw who did it, but I won't tell you who. Because that's just good. So you're saying the knife disappeared while you were drinking your tea in the dining hall? Yeah.
Just to be perfectly clear, the knife disappeared while you were in the dining hall, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And you didn't see who got the fucking knife?
And at any point while you were there, did you ever see me come into the dining hall?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
It's a fucking no.
No, he definitely wasn't there.
The knife disappeared while Hina was in the dining hall, but I wasn't there the entire time. In other words, there's no way I could have taken the knife.
Okay, then what about this?
You got someone else to get the knife for you, and then blah 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 blah. You killed that guy.
What if the idiot swimmer girl and Makoto are in on it together, and lying to protect each other?
Okay, fine. Because, yeah... You're point when it comes to that. That's a Hina. She is an idiot.
Idiot swimmer girl? Oh, and more importantly, why would I get involved in something like that?
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you asked, and so I shall answer.
No.
Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So the accomplice will fucking die.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
What? Two people call them at you, that.
then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
But what if they did work together, and they just didn't know about the rule?
Good grief! Enough already! No, okay? There are no accomplices in this case! Oops! Did I say that out loud?
Anyway, I didn't go to the dining hall, and I didn't take the knife.
I guess there's an accomplice in this fucking case.
So I'm not the killer.
Like you said enough, I'm sure if we keep on arguing about who the killer is at some point, Arkham is gonna get bored and fed up, and then he's gonna say who the killer is, and then Walt will be like, hooray.
Okay, so then, who did take the knife?
I think it was Leon.
Hina seems the obvious candidate. After all, she just said she was in the dining hall.
Best left face.
No way! I swear it wasn't me!
Why does everyone's shocked face not look shocked at all? It just looks like the water tower.
Sure, but can you or anyone else prove that?
Yeah.
I can.
Good.
That's right! Sakura was with me the entire time I was drinking my tea.
I hate to have to ask, but just to be sure, Sakura's...
Me.
Right.
But then, couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
Actually, no. Because, well,
each other's... I think that was it. Each other's witnesses.
Just spit it out already.
I stayed in Hina's room last night.
I got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. I wasn't really thinking, I just asked her to stay over. Which means we have airtight alibis.
Oh yeah, it's called alibis, yeah.
You stayed over? Doesn't that violate one of the school regulations?
There's no school regulations saying that two people are going to stay in the same room. It just says to stay in the dorm area.
We're not allowed to sleep anywhere but the dorms, but it doesn't say we have to stay in our assigned room. So, I don't think that's a problem.
It is a problem! A boy and a girl spending the night together? It's unwholesome!
It's now this is why. Yeah, it's about you to go and boy spending the night. I get what you...
But I'm a girl.
You are? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry!
There's like one person. I like each of our names are both the dead people.
But if it wasn't either of you, then what other possibility is there?
Actually, there is one other possibility. Right, Hina?
It was probably a flipping dude named Leon. I don't know why, I just really want to blame Leon.
Oh, yeah, that's true! One other person did come to the dining hall while we were there.
Please say Leon.
Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Because that would make the flipping case like 5 minutes long, and there's no fun in that.
Well, because they're not here anymore.
I guess it was Sayaka. Who's not here? Are you talking about?
Sayaka. She's the one who came to the dining hall. And then later, she wound up dead.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is Sayaka grabbed a flipping knife, and then did... Figured, did Sayaka try and kill someone, and then it backfired on her? Sayaka? The girl whose dead portrait I stand next to? Okay, so the person who took life from the kitchen was Sayaka.
I got it! Then, Sayaka is the one who took the knife?
Yeah.
That's the only possibility. And thinking back on it, she was acting kind of unusual.
I think everyone that's unusual when they're about to grab a flipping dangerous weapon.
When she came into the dining hall, she didn't even look at us. She just went straight to the kitchen. As she left, she said she just wanted a drink of water. But most likely...
She was hiding that knife somewhere. We don't know where. but she was hiding it somewhere, or we couldn't spot it at all. We just hope it's not where we think it was.
And the person who took the knife was the victim herself.
She was trying to flipping kill someone.
I'm sure she just took it for self-defense.
There was a flipping katana in your room, Dakota. There's no way she wouldn't have flipping just used that.
So you're saying the knife she took was then taken from her, and she was killed with it?
Yeah, most likely.
In that case, you may not have taken the knife, but you still could have killed her.
I say like this, it's always going flipping round up to like there's some way that I still could have killed her.
What? He did do it after all.
Okay, you don't have to agree with me, so you have to like it then.
No, you're wrong.
Stop flipping, make my blood wet. Stop thinking about the Oculus now.
So, that's how you would twist the argument and send us all off in the wrong direction?
I'm thinking now, like, the people to like your left and right are just gonna be like the worst people to argue with because you could easily get into a big fight with them.
You possess a most terrifying talent.
I'm the ultimate lucky student. My luck would have got me out of this much faster than you did. Damn. If I don't do something, they're gonna blame me for the murder, and then everyone's gonna die, and then the black and let him live. Like, they understand if they convict me, everyone's gonna die. But still, I am the most suspicious out of everyone.
Hold on. It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto is the killer, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that is very true. Kurogiri, thank you for flipping saving me for the second time this trial. Listen, I'm just gonna count on Kurogiri. That's the only thing I have to do for these trials.
Because you see, if the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering.
Yeah, how did I get back into my room if I swapped keys?
And until we unravel that little mystery, you simply can't declare that he's the killer.
I get, yeah, it's the door handle fingers in there.
Bewildering? What the hell are you talking about?
I don't use big words like that. I'm a flipping idiot. I don't use big words. I use the F word and the B word. The only words I need to use.
Something was missing from the scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there.
It's flipping DNA that there was someone there.
You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah, DNA or whatever. Your first Hangman's Gambit is about to begin. Would you like to hear more? Sure, because I don't know how to play. As things advance further in the class trial, the Hangman Gambit will eventually take place. The point of this is to reveal an important phrase related to the incident in question. You'll have to deduce the phrase from the letters flying around and the letters already known. Complete the phrase by shooting down the flying letters in the right order. Use the left stick and then press the blah 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 button to whatever. If you shoot down the wrong letters, you'll suffer damage to your influence gauge. No, not my influence. If that gauge reaches 0, or if you run out of time, you fail. Ah, damn it. Well then, good luck and have fun. And if we need to tell you more stuff, we'll tell you in the middle of a trial again. Something that's just been there. That's the thing. But wasn't that must be the crucial point? If we can just figure out like that, just good. I'm trying to think. Is the hair? Is it the hair? Or is it the? I like the tango. Why is it? Oh, it's the hair. Oh.
Now I understand.
I really hope there wasn't there with hair, but okay. No, I just pressed
That's
X.
right. There wasn't a single hair on the floor.
So, the culprit removed some evidence?
Yes. And if I were the culprit, why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room? It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
The reason all the hair was gone was to remove any trace that Sayaka had ever been there. That makes sense, does it not?
No, it does not make sense. For once, I'll have to disagree with Celeste. Not disagree with Celeste.
If that were the case, they would have had to do something about the body itself, not just her hair.
Yes, very true, very true.
Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
I don't know, you told me early on.
The killer got rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that they had ever been there.
Wait, then that means...
Precisely. It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one and the same.
Then Makoto isn't the culprit?
Thank you, Kyogre, for clearing that up. Literally, it would have took me like half an hour longer for them to actually fucking believe.
Are you sure we can decide something so important based solely on the absence of some hair?
Okay, we're going to the second contradiction then.
No. There are other reasons that prove why Makoto couldn't have done it.
I would like to hear these reasons.
I like it, like Kyogre's smirk just tells the story.
Do you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene?
I remember a lot of things remarkable about it, how it had the dead girl in it, how there was Kool-Aid everywhere. Oh, it's so terrible. Oh, yeah, and how for some reason the shower didn't look like it was used.
Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom, right?
Yep, and she suffered no injuries at all during that time into the bathroom.
Yeah, then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed her.
Did you not check the flipping door? Of course you weren't charged, but still you could have checked the flipping door.
And how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with it?
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom. There was clear evidence left behind. Do you remember, Makoto?
Yes, I do. The killer's struggle getting into the bathroom, and the evidence that proves it is... Yup. Bathroom door knob. Like, the door from the doorknob have the same picture.
I got it! Evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're talking about the doorknob, right?
Yeah, the knob. I can't. My God, it's so funny.
Huh? The doorknob? What doorknob?
Wait, how do you not...
The doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken.
Yeah, very good.
See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's about ready to fall off?
Oh yeah, true. But what does it mean?
In trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob. This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room? But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
Except for boys' bathrooms that have flipping locks, so you stupid idiot.
You still don't see? Okay then. Let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help you understand.
It's smart of the genius. Kyoko said it was a bewildering act. I always didn't notice it at first, but is that the key point here? Bewildering? What does that mean? I need to figure that out. Bikoma, do you have a dictionary? No. Damn it. I'll never figure it out. There's a bit more about non-stop debates. Would you like to hear? Literally. Can you just tell me it all in like one sitting, please? I've been sitting 90% of the time. From here on out, the number of weak spots will start going up. Ah, great. But no matter how many weak spots there estimate, there's essentially only one lie or contradiction in that debate. Ah, damn it. What I'm trying to say is, not all weak spots you see are necessarily false. That's great. You're the truth brother on the wrong one, and only you will fail to refute what they said. But you also lower your trust with everyone, and your influence gauge will take down me. Damn it, no, not the influence gauge. Now this is important, because if your influence gauge reaches 0, you fail and the Monokuma kills everyone. You have to rely on your own logic to determine which weak spots are actually lies or contradictions. Okay. Well then, good luck and have fun. Okay. I'm going to love my narrator voice. Bathroom door. Okay, let's go. I only have one truthful.
The incident took place in Makoto's room. Sayaka was first attacked in the main room. She then fled into the bathroom.
Again, very good.
Then the killer ran after her. And they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door, because Sayaka had locked it.
No!
There's no lock on the boys' bathrooms.
The reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked. After all, the girls' rooms are the only ones with locking bathrooms, right?
Yes, now that you mention it, that is true.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
Because it was stuck.
Huh? What are you talking about?
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yup, true as true can be. But you know, you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? But to have such a cruddy door... That's not lucky at all!
Actually, is one of them, because that's actually helping the case prove that I'm not guilty.
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was stuck. But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place?
Someone flipping switched the nameplates around because they're a piece of shit.
Everyone should have known you can't lock any of the boys' bathrooms.
Unless someone changed the flipping nameplates and started being evil.
The killer could easily make that mistake, thanks to one important detail about the scene of the crime.
And because no one uses the flipping map. The killer was convinced the bathroom door was locked, so they didn't know that the door actually couldn't be locked. In other words, the important detail about the scene of the crime that they didn't know was, like, they gave me 2 minutes.
I got it! The killer must not have realized that it was my room.
I think I should have turned logic up to, like, mean. I don't know, I'll turn logic up. I just want to say without flipping say.
What? Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was? That's inconceivable!
Oh, that's so inconceivable.
And yet, he's absolutely right.
Say what?
This is like Kirigay, best character in game.
Well, to be more specific.
Best detective. Unlike Soichi. Best.
What the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms. Which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. If Sayaka had been in her own room, then...
No, someone changed the flipping nameplates, and that's what...
And there would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to break through!
So they had no idea how unnecessary their actions were.
Ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or simply by accident. But...
all we know is Sayaka's dead, and... Makoto didn't do it.
The killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got the door opened.
Yeah, the first murder class child was going around, they didn't notice that until now.
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't locked is...
definitely something I wouldn't do, since I would have known exactly why it wasn't opening, right?
That is a definite possibility.
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms?
So it's anyone who's not Sayaka or me.
Then Makoto couldn't have done it.
Yeah, that's okay. That's what I've been trying to tell you. Thanks to Kirigay, they actually believe.
Okay, then who did do it?
I blame Leon. He blamed me first, I blame Leon.
I'm sorry, but I give up! Quit without saving!
Really? Don't do that. It'll ruin everything.
But what happens if we can't decide on who we think did it?
Then we all vote for Leon and hope for the best.
Well, why don't we just vote right now? Majority rules!
Good.
Majority rules? You really think that's a good idea?
Well, that's what Akuma said, I think.
Yeah, our necks are on the line here. Someone seriously needs to do something. For serious.
Does no one have any other thoughts or questions? It does not matter how trivial they may seem.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I do have one question.
Oh, you...
Great. It's really...
You don't gotta sound so disappointed.
I can't. I always sound disappointed.
It's fine. Just ask your question.
Oh yeah. Okay, so,
If this is just on the start a question, then you seriously... It's not that important.
well, I was just wondering, how did the culprit get into Makoto's room in the first place?
Oh good, finally a good question, hooray. For once you were useful. Yeah.
Yes. How did the killer get inside?
I think Sayaka let...
Maybe Sayaka just dropped the key somewhere and the culprit picked it up. That's possible, right?
I don't think so. That seems way too convenient.
Then maybe someone picked the lock?
The doors are literally pickable.
Negative! If you remember, Monokuma made it quite clear that the locks are all unpickable.
Fine. How about this? The killer got in the easy way.
They kicked down the door. That's probably what
They
they said.
could have knocked and said they wanted to talk or something, and Miss Maizono just let him in.
Yeah, that's not bad.
No, that can't be it either.
Oh, trying to argue against me? Sounds like someone doesn't know his place. Hello? Why exactly can't that be it?
Because she asked me to do something in particular because of how frightened she was. I'll get to that. There's nowhere so I collect some of the cards.
Shoot!
Okay, maybe I should just keep it. That's why I collect some cards. If you were going to attack someone, decide you certainly remove the sheep first. That, damn it.
Shoot!
I'm going to fail this. I thought evidence of struggle would be it. Because I don't know at this point. Seriously, like, I can't figure it. There's always like I let something cuss. There's no dying message? I don't know. Seriously, I'm like fucking gonna fail this because I don't understand what the fuck it's trying to get me to do. those names look like they were just flipping written on words and then stuck on. That's how I'm gonna fucking play all this now.
I got it! Because Sayaka was already scared, remember? That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place.
It's the fucking switch rooms. Listen, they didn't make it obvious. I don't think they did, unless I'm an idiot. I don't know. Blah 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 blah. I'm not bothered to repeat that. I'm telling you, I'm not bothered to repeat it.
Knowing what she'd been through, I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
All she said was just flipping like she won't open the door for anyone, even if it's me.
What if her being scared was a lie?
Well, it is flipping mine though.
Huh? Well, what the hell is that supposed to mean? Why would she lie about something like that?
I know you don't want to consider it, but look at this and tell me. Can you still deny the possibility?
That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to talk to you about. Just 5 minutes, just see me in my room. Check the name plate to make sure you don't get anything, okay?
I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil. And these are the words that appeared.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows. When you write, it can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words.
That's so great.
When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I'd better make sure I rip the paper out before I use it from now on.
It's a pretty old-fashioned technique, but even the classics can be surprisingly useful sometimes. Oh, and I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto's room.
Huh?
That's just great.
Which means only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
That's just great to hear. Sayaka liked it.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
I blame Sayaka.
So, Makoto, did you write this?
No, Sayaka wrote it. I did not invite anyone over for a party at all. Like you were definitely invited. If I was to invite you to the party.
No, I didn't. But
yeah, because keep on going about them not being invited.
Of course you didn't, because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature, Sayaka's signature.
This is Sayaka did the booking. Sayaka wrote it.
But why? Why would she write that?
Okay, this is because you flipping lied to you, Makoto. Get that into your flipping thick skull. Like other objects, you failed.
The note was likely her way of getting in touch with a certain someone.
The killer.
She must have slid it under their door to let them know she wanted to meet with them in secret.
Am I the only one who thinks this music's getting a little bit loud?
If they got an invitation like that from the ultimate pop sensation, what young man could resist?
Of course, I'm only into 2D, so it wouldn't have any effect on me.
Yeah, you still seem like you like some crazy that.
But can we be sure anyone even got this note? And honestly, even if they did, I do not think they are at all involved in what happened. Huh? What makes you say that? Would you like to hear what I have to say?
Yes, I'd love to.
Very well then. Pay attention.
Okay.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct? But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room. I see. So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room. Exactly. The room that Makoto was...
No, that's wrong! The nameplates on Mai and Sayaka's rooms got switched.
They got switched?
That's right. The nameplates got switched, just like the rooms themselves. As a result, the nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had Makoto's name. And the nameplate on Makoto's room had Sayaka's.
So what you're saying is, the room Sayaka was staying in was actually marked as her room.
Then, if someone did do what the note said, they would end up at Makoto's room where Sayaka was.
Plus, their rooms are right next to each other, so switching the nameplates would be no problem. And the one who switched the names was... Well, of course it wasn't you, right, Makoto?
Of course it wasn't me. I did not switch them out all so we could find the party.
Right?
Gotta keep up with the lies.
Okay, then who did it?
There's only one person who could have switched the nameplates, and I'm so happy to say that the only other person who knew we had switched is the... Can I just say the killer? No.
I got it! Me and Sayaka were the only ones who ever knew about us switching rooms. So the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the nameplates was Sayaka.
You can also infer as much from her note.
That's the thing I wanted to talk to you about. Just us two. In 5 minutes, come see me and my room. Check the nameplate to make sure you don't get the wrong room. Okay?
She specifically tells the reader to check the nameplate. She would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
But why would she switch them in the first place?
So she can invite someone else to fucking kill them and kind of guessing that.
She wanted someone to come to the room she was in, and also hide the fact that it was Makoto's room.
What?
Okay, she was gonna try and frame me for murder.
Inviting someone to your room, but not telling them you'd switched rooms. Why would anyone do that?
To plot a murder on me.
To understand that,
I'm not going to tell you because Makoto is the main character, and I'm just a very smart side character who everyone loves.
we first need to understand what happened after she invited the person into the room.
She probably tried to kill them, and then it backfired and she died.
That's where the answer lies.
That's probably what happened.
What happened then was probably...
She tried to murder the person, and then suddenly, every living bone in her brow, like it was always about to get crushed, but then, I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
Whoever she invited over came in and attacked her!
No, she probably attacked her and then they retaliated and then took it.
We figured it out! We know who did it! Whoever she invited over is the culprit!
Okay.
But we still don't know who it is, you goddamn idiot!
Sayaka fought with her killer there in the room, yes? Perhaps the answer to our previous question lies in that initial struggle.
I can never tell like how Al's voice actually sounds. I can never tell like if it's like an accent, or if it's a fake accent, or if it's just like multiple accents. I can never tell like what.
Yes, I think you're right.
I can never understand the way that Celeste talks.
Then... we just have to figure out what happened during the fight, right?
That reminds me. There was a replica sword at the murder scene. Was that perhaps used during the fight?
That's likely there were scratch marks on the flipping...
Oh yeah. What's the deal with that sword?
It's a flipping replica.
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it might come in handy if I had to defend myself. It seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break Sayaka's right wrist.
But how the hell could you possibly know that's what broke her wrist?
Besides, Sayaka's wrist was broken with this fake sword because... Okay, I don't get it. That literally says right there.
I got it! All you have to do is take a good look at her broken wrist, and it should become pretty clear. Right there where her wrist is all swollen. There's something glittery there. See?
That's good.
Is
Is that gold?
It sure is. Specifically, the gold coating from the replica sword. You barely have to touch that stuff, and it'll stick right to you.
That's correct.
And there's some on her wrist because
she got fucking struck in the wrist.
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword! Right there on her wrist!
That's great. Ishimaru figured it out to give him a golden medal.
I see. And so the truth draws ever closer.
Alright, then it's about time to solve this mystery.
What happened in my room? Well, it led to Sayaka's death. That's what we need to make clear. Sayaka probably flipped because I know. Oh man, how much more bits of this non-stop debate are there? Okay, sure, tell me. Are you getting used to these non-stop debates? No, look. Start with the next debate. I'll start loading multiple tooth bullets into your tooth cylinder. No, please, no, I'd rather have just one. But just like with the weak spots saying you won the day, spots can actually refute the proper in other words, from here on out, you'll have to combine the right tooth bullet with the right weak spot to refute each thing. Damn it. If you come up with the wrong combination, you'll take down a few and sort of stay down there. I can't afford that. You can press the blah 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 the right text, blah blah blah, press the listen, or you can hold down into left specific bullet. By the way, if the logic difficulty is set to kind, fewer bullets will be loaded into the cylinder. For our purposes, this time the logic difficulty will be set to mean. Well then, let's look. That's it. Logic for meaning. Replica triage series, fixing like that on replica triage.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack!
And that's what broke Miss Mizono's wrist!
So, she tried to fight back. She grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden away. But then the culprit took that from her too.
And they killed her with it.
And that's exactly what happened.
I think that's funny, like it. The best person before they did the back
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack!
That's what broke Miss Mizono's wrist!
So, she tried to fight back. She grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden away.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack!
no, it's wrong!
That's the guy.
Actually, no. I don't think the fight started with the sword.
Why not?
Did you look at the crime scene?
Because the sword's sheath had been scratched.
Well, I'm trying to think, does anyone actually look at the crime scene other than being killed or...
See? There's a gash in it. Like someone cut into it with something sharp.
Something sharp? You mean like the kitchen knife? That was the only sharp thing found at the scene.
Stop jumping ahead! Slow down and explain it so I get what the hell's going on.
Yeah, just move that. Yeah, all your big brains are too big compared to my small, tiny, puny, pathetic ape brain.
If the sword was used first, there wouldn't be any explanation for the scratch on the sheath.
Unless you use a sheath as a second sword.
If you were going to attack with the sword, you'd take it out of the sheath first, right?
That's true. With the sheath on, it'd be heavy and bulky and useless as shit.
Okay, I'm trying to see. How heavy is the sheath?
Okay, so how did the sheath get damaged?
The couple fucking picked up the fucking sword back in their thread. Like, before they could hit them with the knife.
If they got attacked with the kitchen knife, maybe they grabbed the sword as a defensive impulse. In that situation, there wouldn't be any time to actually unsheath the sword.
I couldn't agree on the same page and allowed
So you're saying the sword was initially used to defend against an attack from the knife?
Yep.
Which means whoever had the kitchen knife was the one who attacked first.
I blame Meisenberg.
I think I get it. So here's how it all played out.
Okay.
The culprit came in, found the kitchen knife hidden there somewhere.
Nah, I think Meisenberg attacked first. The culprits defended themselves and killed Meisenberg.
Then they took the knife and attacked Sayaka before she knew what was happening. So she grabbed the sword to defend herself. But then the culprit took that from her too. Then, after they broke her wrist with the sword, they took the knife and finished it.
Sorry, but I don't think Sayaka used the sword to defend herself.
Yeah, I think it's fucking the culprit used the sword to defend himself because Meisenberg was attacking him.
What? How the hell can you not think that?
Yeah, why is he so panicked?
Because she never held the sword at all. There's a certain part of her body that makes this clear.
I got it! You're talking about her palms, right?
Why is it one heart? Like I say, to the right each time. Right?
The palms of her hands were perfectly clean, so I don't think she ever picked up the sword.
How can you know that just by looking at her palms?
And the gold stuff is very sticky and it sticks to everything and everywhere.
Like I said before, the gold coating on that sword comes right off. All you have to do is touch it.
With every part of your body.
In fact, if you look, you'll notice that a lot of the gold has already come off the handle. It's safe to assume that's because whoever used the sword got some of it on their hands. There's really no way she could have picked it up and come away completely clean.
Maybe she washed her hands after she escaped into the bathroom.
Sorry, but I don't think so.
Why do you say that? Is it because you think I'm ugly?
That and...
No, that's not it at all.
Okay, stop lying. There's no way so I can watch the dog cutting off her hands because there's a certain regulation that talks about blah 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 what I can't. What was off?
I got it! According to the Monokuma file, Sayaka's time of death was around 1:30 a.m.
That's considered nighttime.
In other words, at nighttime. And the water in the bathroom shuts off at nighttime, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. Actually, I haven't taken a shower here yet.
Wait a minute, it's been 3 days and you haven't taken a shower. Wait, and you've been wearing the same outfit for 3 days then?
Oh my.
Yeah, this is a thing.
You're no different. You smell like a big fat ugly donkey.
Hey, that's a pig.
I'm not sure whether to take that as an insult or a compliment.
Take us both.
An insult, obviously.
Yeah, take us both, it'll be funny.
So anyway, if Sayaka never touched the sword, then that means...
The culprit grabbed the sword, defending themselves, blah 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 blah. Yeah,
the killer is the only one who used the sword. But hold on. If that's right, then the one who damaged the sheet with the kitchen knife was...
Guys are trying to fucking murder someone in Spain because he didn't do that.
I got it! Sayaka? She had the kitchen knife?
But we already said that the attack started with...
The person with the knife attacked first, and the sword was used as an impromptu defense.
Then the one who attacked first was...
Sayaka?
Now do you understand? She wasn't a blameless victim in this.
No, far from it. It's almost as if she'd been planning to commit a murder of her own.
I think that is right. What?
It's took the knife from the kitchen, then invited the culprit to the room she was staying in. And if it's true that she had the kitchen knife and attacked without provocation...
Indeed. These are all the actions of an assailant.
Which brings up another point. Makoto, Sayaka was the one who suggested you two switch rooms, correct? Maybe the reason she wanted to switch rooms was so that she could pin the crime on you. That is a possibility, is it not?
Sayaka wanted to... on me?
You want to do what to me? You want to get on with me?
That would also explain why she would switch the nameplate. She wanted to get whoever she had targeted to come to Makoto's room where she was staying. And by committing the murder there, instead of her room, that would implicate Makoto. But for that to work, the target had to be lured out while still keeping the room swap a secret. If the target knew she had switched rooms, they would have become suspicious right away.
So all that's why she switched the names?
But doesn't that plan seem a little risky? For one thing, even if her plan worked, Mr. Naegi would just tell everyone they'd switched rooms.
I don't know. I'm not sure our soft-hearted Makoto is capable of that kind of cutthroat behavior. I'm sure Sayaka realized the same thing, which is why out of all of us, she asked him to switch rooms.
Plus, she was the ultimate pop sensation. A totally forgettable kid. Or a national superstar. Who are you more likely to believe?
Wait, then you're saying she had this all planned out?
Holy shit!
But in the end, her plan backfired. She launched her attack with the knife, then found herself under attack in turn. That must be when her wrist got broken, and she was forced to drop the knife.
The tables were suddenly turned on her, and she died at the hands of the one she'd planned to murder.
Just hold on! That can't be true! Because...
Hey! You guys have totally derailed the argument. You're being super boring right now. Come on, hurry up and decide who did it. Wouldn't it be awful if I had to punish you all just because you ran out of time?
Oh yeah, we gotta decide who we think did it.
Makoto, right now you just need to concentrate on figuring out the answer to this mystery. If we can't uncover who murdered Sayaka, it's over for all of us.
Obviously, I've committed to finding out who killed her, but what can I do? I mean, as far as clues go, there's nothing left, unless there is more left, because there's no way.
It's easy just to say, hey, decide who did it. But there just aren't any more clues, right?
No, it's wrong. There still might be one clue left. Sayaka's dying message.
Dining? Wait, what did you say?
The dying message. She wrote something on the wall behind her, remember?
Do not investigate the crime scene at
11037. Written in her own blood. There must be a clue about the killer hidden in there.
Well, before we get too far into that, I need to ask, can we really be sure that Sayaka is the one who wrote it?
Yes.
I got it! Her left index finger had blood on it.
I'm so happy that I remembered all this stuff from
That could only be because she used that finger to write the message.
I see. She broke her right wrist during the fight, so she'd have to use her left hand to write.
Sure. I think we can all agree Sayaka wrote it. But still, what the heck do those numbers mean? 11037?
Hey, Chihiro. You're a computer nerd or whatever, right? You should know all about numbers and shit.
No, that's not... Yes, I'm a programmer, but I don't see any kind of meaning in these numbers.
Of course. It's because they're not numbers.
Oh, yeah, it looks like...
Huh? What?
No, it's just... look at the numbers, assuming they're not numbers. Don't these first two, 1, 1, look less like two numbers and more like one letter?
Yeah, I can kind of see some type of like...
Ah, you're right. The connecting line is barely there, so I assumed it was 1, 1, but... Looking at it now, you could also read it as an N.
Whoa, you might have finally just said something worth a shit.
Our little gray cells are really getting excited now.
But even if that really is an N037, doesn't make any more sense than before.
Damn, it's no use. I just don't know. It's not like I have more than 5 brain cells and can just turn something upside down and figure out who killed them.
Rotate the image 180 degrees.
Oh, I fucking go. He's the only smart one here. Rotate it. I think maybe I'll see.
Oh my god. Now I see. She wrote down the killer's name.
Upside down, it's fucking weird.
Huh? You just shot past the clue part and right onto who did it. So, whose name did she write?
Blah blah blah.
Here's my answer. The key to solving this mystery was simply to rotate the writing 180 degrees. If you turn the message around, it becomes the letters L-E-O-N. L-E-O-N. Or more accurately, Leon.
What the hell are you talking about? It's just a coincidence. It's just a bunch of random squiggles that happen to look like my name.
I can tell that.
No, it's not random at all. She wrote that message on the wall behind her as she was leaning up against it. In that position, she couldn't move to write normally, and had to write upside down, as it were. And as a result, when you look at it standing in front of her, it ends up getting flipped. Try it for yourself if you want. Write something sitting like her, and the letters will be inverted.
That sounds like one hell of a stretch to me. I'm the killer? You can't just go and say shit like that.
If you're not the killer, then why did you try to destroy the evidence?
Huh?
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The evidence Leon tried to get rid of?
I got it! You mean the burnt shirt piece I found laying on the ground by the incinerator, right?
I'm fed up. I'm fed up.